What is a vampire? Perhaps we'll never know. Hello everybody, I'm Russ Rockwell. This is Russ Rockwell Reviews. I'm going to be taking a look at and reviewing 2022's Day Shift. Day Shift is the story of Bud Jablonski, a freelance vampire hunter that's forced to join the local vampire hunting union because he has some unexpected family expenses. And I guess the union pays more than freelance. I don't know. And we got Jamie Foxx playing Bud, the main dude. Then you got Dave Franco playing the reluctant partner. And then you've got kind of a guest appearance, mostly of Snoop Dogg playing Big John. Let me check my note. Big John. He's kind of just like this legendary vampire hunter. So just the general premise isn't like a bad idea for like a popcorn action movie. There's room to not take itself too seriously and be quippy, but also have good action, you know? So I think the premise isn't bad. The execution, on the other hand, well, there's a lot of problems. So I've got a whole like page and a half of notes here that I'm not going to go into because it's just too much. What it boils down to is there's world building for absolutely no reason. And normally I'm a big fan of world building, but in this case, they just use it as an excuse to explain something. You know, they just want to do a thing. They need a thing to happen. That thing happens. It doesn't make sense in the world that they built. And then they just go, then there's just someone there to say, oh, no, he's just a different type of vampire. So that, you know, that stuff doesn't work on him. And then 2 scenes later, something else, that exact same thing will happen to a similar vampire. And it'll be like, well, no, he's another different type of vampire, even more different than the other one. So that's why that didn't work. And that happens several like times in this movie, that anytime they just want to do something, they just, you know, someone just pops in and goes, well, you know, this guy's a little bit different, so this time it'll work. And it sucks. If you can cut this down to 90 minutes, I would say even less. This movie probably doesn't need to be over 85 minutes. Day Shift was directed by J.J. Perry. So he's a stunt coordinator first. That's like his major credits on IMDb. He's directed a couple of films that I haven't seen. But he was a stunt coordinator on like John Wick 2. So that gives me hope. You know, that says that like this guy knows how to do stuff. And you definitely see it in the action scenes. I think maybe you see it a little too much. Like, there are some wild, there's a wild approach to action in this. Like the way the bodies just ragdoll and contort. Like all the vampires in this movie are Cirque du Soleil gymnasts. Like they're all rolling up and walk. I don't know. It would be kind of cool if it was like one specialized one, but it's like super weird when just for no reason, grandma vampire just like completely crab bends backwards and like, I don't know, walks on her. It's like an Exorcist type thing. And it's not scary at all. It's just super weird. There are a couple times it's pretty cool where someone gets hit by a shotgun and they just completely ragdoll, fly away. And if it was just condensed to just that, then, you know, it might be okay. It still looked pretty silly, but that was fun silly. But it's all over the movie. It's just really distracting. It's distracting and confusing. It's a disappointment. That's where the movie had its best opportunity to shine. I think the most effort was put into that part too. For me, it doesn't really hold up. There's a particular scene where the Union chief, he's so stressed out, I guess, by Jamie Foxx's character being back in the Union, that he kind of plays that like typical like you know, police chief who's always upset. But he's on the phone, I think, talking to someone, and he's pouring whiskey into his bottle of Pepto-Bismol. I thought it was pretty funny. That was about as funny as it got for me. Overall, I would say Day Shift is a complete failure of storytelling. Nobody learned anything, nobody changed, nobody discovered anything new about themselves. There was no connection to the characters in any meaningful way. The world they built had no coherency. It was just kind of whatever they wanted it to be, whenever they needed to be it. And then they also had to like double explain that to the audience every time something happened. Although it was competently filmed and edited, it was dramatically unremarkable and creatively absent. You know, it was like a big black hole of creativity. Here's my final review on Day Shift. I do kind of just the basic watch or don't watch. Maybe in the future I'll get some sort of more in-depth rating system, like stars or thumbs or bags of popcorn, whatever. I just think watch or don't watch is pretty much covers it for me. Day Shift is going to be a hard don't watch. You can avoid this movie. There's much better vampire movies. There's much better action movies. There's much better Jamie Foxx movies and much better Dave Franco movies. There's much better Snoop Dogg movies, I think. That one I'm not sure about. I haven't seen too many Snoop Dogg movies. But Soul Plane's probably better. Anyways, don't watch it. I would say the only circumstance that you might find yourself where this would be watchable would be like a lazy Saturday afternoon. It pops up on TV and you want to take a nap. This would be a great movie to fall asleep to. All right, now is the time on Russ Rockwell Reviews, where we're gonna spin this wheel up here. We've got almost 6,000 movies on there, and we're gonna spin that, and we're gonna see what the next film is.
I Love Maria.
All right, so it looks like next time on Russ Rockwell Reviews, I'm going to be reviewing I Love Maria. It's a 1998 Hong Kong film with a very sexy robot that was once a gangster. Turned detective or police, I don't know. Bad, sexy robot was bad, now is good. 1998 Hong Kong. Directed by Shui Hark, so actually I'm looking forward to that. I've seen a lot of Shui Hark movies. They're generally extremely awesome. I haven't seen this one. So I'm really looking forward to seeing I Love Maria. If you enjoyed this review and thought it was informative, you know, hit a like or subscribe. If you have a movie you want me to review, leave it in the comments, and I'll make sure I add it to the main list so it gets on the wheel. I'm Russ Rockwell, and I'll see you next time on Russ Rockwell Reviews.